the dieting industry so gosh darn confusing, and there's so much differing information. And honestly, from all of my personal and professional research, what I found is that everyone is kind of saying the same thing. Like, we're all trying to go up the same hill of to be healthy and vibrant and alive and to feel really good. We're just coming at it from like different points on the mountain. And so we're all going in the same direction. It's just about perspective. And when we can get a different perspective where we're looking up from high and we're looking down and we can see all of it and how it all comes and works together, then it allows us to have that different perspective, and it makes it easier to not get stuck on any one little ledge or area on the mountain, right? We don't want to get stuck anywhere. We want to feel really good. We want to have that balance. We want to do things that are supporting all the parts of our body. And, you'll hear me say, and I'll say again, because I think that it's really important. If we're doing something that is only good for shrinking fat cells, but it's harming the liver, that is not sustainable, right? Like, what is good for weight loss should also be good for the whole body. And what's good for the whole body is good for weight loss, because our body wants to be at its natural and ideal weight, right? Whatever that is for you, for your health, for your body, a healthy body and a comfortable weight should go together, right? We don't want to starve ourselves into a normal weight and then go, oh, and then I'm going to be happy, and my metabolism is going to be good, and it's all going to be good. I'll willpower myself there. Or I just need to lose the weight, and then I'll learn how to eat right. It's like, well, that is one method of doing it. Personally, I have found that does not work. And I have been frustrated and disappointed and upset because I was fighting against my own physiology. You cannot fight your own physiology. If you starve yourself, you will be starving, right? And so that's no way to live. Definitely no way to live. So the first week we were talking about the forgotten nutrient, and that was water. People forget about water very often. And, the thing about water is that if we're drinking caffeinated drinks, we actually need 2 glasses of water for every one caffeinated drink, just to rehydrate from that one caffeinated drink. So water is the best. Drink lots of water. Then we talked about the forbidden nutrient, the one that gets a lot of flack. We were all told to go fat-free in the 80s and 90s, and it's been very confusing and damaging for the body, because our body can't absorb then vitamins A, D, E, K, CoQ10. So our heart, our energy, our skin, everything suffers if we don't have the proper fat. And then we talked about the body's instigators, which are vitamins. So basically they make sure that things happen, right? They instigate this, they make this happen over here, go over here, do this, do that. And so that we have the energy and vitality that we need. And this week we're talking a little bit about our body's regulators. Now, these are minerals, and you get these from fresh, alive, and vibrant foods. Yes, vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, legumes. Wonderful food that grows, because where we get minerals is from good soil, right? When we have that healthy, good soil, when we've been composting and there's lots of nutrients that are in the soil, there's healthy worms, and the soil's rich and it smells really good, and our plants grow and they're strong and healthy. And then we eat those and we get those little trace minerals in there. And so when we get those trace minerals, then we get to feel really good. And what happens is that if what we're doing is we are not eating enough of those fresh, alive, and vibrant foods with the trace minerals, then our body begins to dysregulate itself. Remember, real food, right? Fresh, alive, vibrant foods have minerals which regulate the body processes, meaning your hormones, our mood, our hunger, our energy, our cravings, our sleep. All of those need to be regulated properly. And we need the minerals to help regulate them properly. So a little bit about minerals. There's no calories in a mineral. They promote good, healthy, vibrant processes in the body, helping your bones and your teeth and your blood. There are the major minerals, which you need more of. There are trace minerals, which you need less of. The major minerals are like calcium and phosphorus and magnesium, specific major minerals that work together to maintain the body's fluid balance is going to be potassium, sodium, and chloride. And then there's trace minerals that you just need a little of, like iron, zinc, copper, iodine, and selenium. The interesting thing about selenium actually helps regulate our thyroid, as along with iodine as well. And then, of course, you need copper, zinc, iron, all of these little things in just little tiny amounts. And what's kind of frustrating about the dieting industry and a lot of what we've been told is like, oh, I'm just going to take a multivitamin that's got minerals in it and I'll be good. Well, there's a dynamic interaction of what happens between the food that we eat and the complexity. So the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So it's kind of like, oh no, my finger is awesome and I can just take my finger and like clone it and it can do all the things that this finger can do. It's like, well, I get that. That idea is a nice idea, but you actually need the whole person, right? You need the rest of the hand and you need the arm and you need the brain and you need all the other parts to make this one finger do what it needs to do and have the benefit. Well, it's the same thing when we take things out and we isolate it and we concentrate it, then it's not the right balance and our body doesn't have all the other things that it needs to work and function properly. So real whole food is complex and it's wonderful and it's beautiful. So it's got fiber and it's got water and it's got vitamins and it's got minerals and it's got fat and it's got protein, it's got carbohydrate, and it's got all of those things that our body needs. In fact, kind of a fun thing about spinach. So spinach grows. Spinach got all kinds of wonderful vitamins, minerals. It's got protein, actually. So calorie for calorie, spinach actually has more protein than steak. So 100 calories of spinach has more protein than 100 calories of steak. Isn't that crazy? When I learned that, I was like, that's wild, man. Obviously, that's a ton of spinach. I don't know if I could even eat 100 calories of spinach. It would probably like fill up this entire room. But it's still interesting to think that real food has the complexity, everything that we need. And it's really quite wonderful. Okay, so calcium is one of those minerals that we need, and it builds bones and teeth, helps regulate our heartbeat, our muscles, and our nerves. And phosphorus helps energy production, builds and renews bones and teeth. Magnesium builds and renews bones and teeth, helps the nerves and muscles work properly. So how sometimes you get like a weird little like tick right here, or maybe your digestive system isn't really moving the way that you want it to, right? So like your nerves and your muscles, the peristalsis, the wave-like motions, and your intestines aren't working properly. Magnesium sometimes can be a really helpful thing to remember. Where we get that is dark leafy green vegetables, nuts, beans, and seeds. You can see that there's kind of a pattern here, right? You get sodium, chloride, and potassium, helps maintain the body's balance of fluids, helps with muscles and nerves. Salt, potassium, you can get that in bananas, avocados, grapefruits, other nuts and seeds, some fishes, dried beans, and dairy products. Iron is going to help build and renew hemoglobin, which is your blood, and carry oxygen to the cells. Places where you get iron is meat, dairy, fish, poultry, dark beans, dried beans and peas, dark leafy green vegetables, dried fruit, enriched grain products. Zinc is going to help heal wounds in growth and maintenance of body tissues. Examples of where you get zinc: dairy products, dried beans and peas, whole grain cereals, eggs, meat and liver, and fish. And then selenium helps your heart work properly. It's kind of an antioxidant. You get it in whole grains, vegetables, depends on the soil. So again, the better the soil is, the better that we take care of, the better that it's organic, right? And that the crops, we're like rotating crops, and then the better the nutrients are that come into the food, and then we get to be healthy. And then of course, iodine. That's one of the ways that reasons why they started iodizing salt. So iodine is responsible for the body's use of energy. So without iodine, our thyroid doesn't work properly. So that's one of the reasons why I always make sure that I have iodized salt in my diet. You also get it from saltwater fish, kelp, seaweed, things like that. Okay, so you can kind of see that we're going over a pattern there. Do you see a pattern over the last few weeks? It's that we really want to be going in the direction of making our meals, of eating fresh, alive, and vibrant fruits and veggies and nuts and seeds and legumes and things that have grown, that Mother Nature made for your body. And even if you are eating meat, right, which is, can totally be part of a healthy diet, what that animal ate is going to determine the quality, right? The nutritional quality of the meat that you are eating as well. So the one of the reasons why we that's so rich and full of nutrients is that if that animal was eating wonderful veggies and fruits, right? Nuts and seeds and legumes, like we also eat, then all of those nutrients get stored in their body because they're filled up. And so we can do the same thing as well. We fill up with all of those wonderful nutrients. And just remember that things that are anti-nutrients, which means suck the nutrition out of our body and claim it for their own and make it really hard for our body, are things that are packaged, processed, high in sugar, the trans fats, that kind of stuff. So if we can stay away from that and continue to eat fresh, alive, and vibrant foods in proper portions, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, boom, we're feeling great and we're looking great. All right, ladies, I love you so much. I hope that you are doing well. Little tidbit on minerals, so just making sure that we've got good soil. If you've got like a garden in your backyard, even if you just have like a little plant in a windowsill with some like fresh mint and some basil and some cilantro, little things that you can grab that are fresh, alive, and vibrant, that have vitamins and minerals and nutrients and enzymes and antioxidants and water and fiber and wonderful things for your body that's grown right there. Make sure that the soil is rich and good, and you can smell it, that it's like a dark, rich color, that it's like light and kind of fluffy as that rich soil. And then you're getting those good minerals inside of your body to help regulate the body processes so that you don't have to willpower yourself to feel good and have energy. Right? It starts to happen naturally with when we're putting stuff in our body that that sends the proper signals so that everything is in balance. You got this. You could totally do it. You are amazing. I love you, and I'll see you later.